Yeah, we're live. All right, guys. If it seems like we're live, yeah, everything should be good.
But why I still can see us? Still,
I think it's
also,
just a
no,
little
yeah,
of delay, yeah. So
yeah, now it's working. Okay, cool. Matt, just by the way, can you are you also checking the stream, right? So because you
I'm
need to
not.
check the
Okay, I'm not on the stream.
yeah.
I can check it.
I mean, after like the AMA session from my side, you need to check the questions from the audience. So that's why I'm asking. Okay. Hello, everyone. So let's just wait like for 1-2 more minutes to let more people join. So now we just have 12 people. So mm, so okay, I guess it's enough. So we have everyone joined. Yeah, let's get started. So, hello everyone. This is me, Max, brand manager of 1X, and welcome to 1X and Zilliqa AMA session on topic DeFi and SAFI. So, how to find a compromise with Matt Dyer. I'm thrilled to have you all here today, as always, actually. So, whether you're a long-time subscriber or just stumble upon the stream, I appreciate you taking the time to join to us today. Especially since like this is the last AMA before the listing. Yeah, tomorrow listing on Max. So check up the Twitter announcements. So yeah, for those who might be new, AMAs are fantastic opportunities for us, for all of us, like to connect directly with you guys, with our audience, and with our precious guests like Matt today. So as always, we're gonna make an AMA session from our side first, like for first like 20 minutes, and then after this, so it's gonna be a Q&A, small like little session, so where you can ask our questions to our guests, like anything related to the topic, or like the DeFi and SAFI, how to find a compromise. So yeah, and whether it's about our guest experience, insights, or thoughts on the industry as well. So before we dive into the questions, I want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for the support you have shown and that you visited our AMA today, and it means a lot for us, of course. And I'm looking forward to this interactive session. So let's start from the first question for Matt today. Hey, Matt, and can you please tell us a little bit more about your company and what do you do and what solutions do you offer for the crypto community?
Hey, Max. Thank you very much for having me on the show, and congratulations on the launch. Really exciting. Some of the
Appreciate
stuff.
it.
So for those of your audience, I guess the 1EX audience who don't know Zilliqa, we are one of the OGs in the space. We prototyped back in 2015, so right back at the start of when people were looking into the blockchain space. And there was a challenge with Ethereum and Bitcoin in terms of scaling. So Zilliqa at the time looked to address the challenges of scaling using sharding as a mechanism to speed up the throughput of transactions on the blockchain. And way back when we went live on mainnet, I think 2019, well, not I think, I know in 2019, we were the first to market with sharding. And for those of your, I guess, customers or kind of community who are listening in essence, it allows you to kind of, I don't know, when you go to Starbucks, for example, and you look to buy a coffee, rather than having to line up one by one, essentially everyone can get served at the same time in terms of when they make their order for a nice latte. So it's quite a cool concept back in the day. A lot of the market is caught up in terms of the sharding narrative, and Zilliqa is very much around improving what we're doing from a consensus mechanism perspective to give us parity with some of the other maybe more better known blockchains like Solana, Polygon, Binance, for example, and enable us to kind of work with brands, developers, projects who are looking for a fast, scalable blockchain to work on. So yeah, I've been around for a long time, got a lot of pedigree and history. And what we're really keen about doing, and this hasn't changed from inception, is driving adoption relays. We talked about enterprise adoption at the very start of our journey, but it's very much about driving adoption, whatever that vertical may be. I think you mentioned where is Zilliqa's focus at the moment, and this is from a Zilliqa business perspective. Well, we're focused on a couple of verticals, which I think will excite a lot of the prop traders or people looking at your platform to see where the next opportunities are. So GameFi is a big area that we're focused in. We've got a gaming business called Rolling Thunders that has actually, the public sale is going to open up in a couple of hours actually today, in terms of the Web3 War first-person shooter. So in essence, if you're good at playing computer games and first-person shooters, there's the ability, if you've got any skill, to earn tokens for the time you invest in playing on the game. Clearly, you need to be good at playing. So I think we're very much about showing the market what sustainable businesses look like, and that's a great example. Another example you could look at is in loyalty, where we've delivered a few solutions to brands like Mad Lions, who are an esports team, where we've embedded Web3 tokenization as part of their fan engagement layer, which is quite exciting. And they're kind of going on a journey at the moment to move things forward. Another one, I'm Scottish, true to my heart, we tokenized whiskey, which is quite cool. So $1 million barrels of whiskey, fractionalized said barrel of whiskey, and we've enabled institutional or accredited investors, to get access to parts of a barrel of whiskey, which is quite a neat solution. So I think just to kind of set the picture around who Zilliqa are, we're very much about bringing real world solutions, products to market that can showcase to people outside of crypto what the value is inherent within it. That said, we're obviously a layer one public blockchain, and critically around layer one blockchains, you need to be able to attract developers. You need to build a big community, and there's no better community than the Zilliqa community in terms of the support we get from them. So yeah, I think we cover everything there is from a layer one perspective, and we've got some good case studies that we can kind of talk to the market about. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Yeah, I appreciate a lot for this story. And yeah, actually, as you mentioned, so you guys like a really old OG of the market, and I started my journey into crypto like 3 or 4 years ago. So, and I remember you guys were one of the first projects I ever met in crypto. So yeah, I heard this name so many times. And yeah, let's move into the next question. So as far as I understand, you guys pay quite a lot of attention to tokenization, right? As you mentioned, so, and offer solutions for companies like the issue tokens as well. So how popular is tokenization nowadays and in the real and virtual business sector?
I think tokenization is the one topic that everyone, I guess, is getting excited about at the moment. I think the ability to tokenize, shipping, tokenize real estate, whiskey that I've already talked about, tokenization of gameplay is something that everyone is looking to kind of deliver and deploy against, and Zilliqa is no different. And I think where we are in terms of our journey and some of the use cases that we've got and that we're building out, I'm quite excited to see what comes. So if you look at things like Mad Lions, who've built out a loyalty program, they're trying to work out, is there the possibility potentially to tokenize the earnings of some of the esports players. So I think when you look at the opportunities that exist, blockchain enables you to tokenize pretty much everything. The challenge you have is more from a legislation perspective and making sure that what you are tokenizing isn't deemed, well, it can be deemed as security as long as you know you're going into something with that mindset. But clearly, if we're trying to allow retail to get access to tokenized assets, clearly we need to try and make a framework that isn't specifically making it a security. Otherwise, they wouldn't get access to it. So again, gaming's a good example with the first-person shooter that we've got, where we're tokenizing the ability to earn rewards for being good at your craft. And off the back of that, being able to earn rewards is quite an exciting concept from my perspective.
Cool. And actually, my next question is about what can be tokenized, but since you already mentioned whiskey, so you can answer my question. So pretty much everything can be tokenized from my understanding. But anyway, so what can be tokenized today, and what products are most often tokenized today? much often than whiskey, I hope.
Yeah, I think the challenge with tokenization is trying to find a buyer and seller market, and that's the challenge. So you might be able to tokenize a big building or whatever that you're looking to do, but where do you get the buyers and the sellers to kind of want to buy into the market? So a lot of the times when you look at opportunities, it's really about how do you create a marketplace where those buyers and sellers can come. Is blockchain with the tokenization capability the right vehicle to do that? And if it is, what is the kind of the best mechanism to do it? So is that something that's open all the time? Do you create a marketplace that maybe opens up for a 10-minute window that allows buyers and sellers to come to maximize the opportunity? And clearly, crypto blockchain is a 24/7, 365 operation. Therefore, you've got a market that's pretty much tradable the whole time. But again, as I mentioned before, if you are going to go down a route of looking to tokenize something, I think if it was me, where you want to start first of all is really around the legal aspect, getting your processes in place first before then building the technology to support it. We kind of got a good example where we're looking at tokenizing classic cars, whereby one NFT equates to one specific classic car, and then that starts to create a liquid market. I saw an article in the paper today saying the yield and profits available against classic cars are pretty good, but the question is how do you create a market that is tradable? So again, these are sorts of things that we are looking at from a business perspective, and I think the exciting time to be in the blockchain space.
Yeah, so interesting. And so, in your opinion, today users prefers to use decentralized instruments more, or like in finance, or centralized ones? So, what changed? What might change for this recent 3 years, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it's just around trust and understanding what the opportunity is. Got the train into London this morning with a couple of brokers, actually work for TCI Cap, and they totally do not understand DeFi. They don't buy into it. They don't really kind of get what's happening in the space. And I think a lot of that is around education, the complexity, some of the challenges that we have. But clearly, DeFi offers a more efficient market. But I think we're in a situation where we need to work with the regulators to come into the DeFi space to understand it a lot more, and maybe start to apply things like KYC or maybe identity, maybe using account abstraction or things like that, to start to give them the confidence about understanding who is using the DeFi applications for their benefit, so that we get a lot more confidence into the space. I think clearly people are talking about this Bitcoin ETF and Ethereum ETF happening quite soon. And I think if you start to get the rubber stamp in that respect, I think a lot more people in the traditional CeFi world start to look at DeFi and the potential opportunities that it presents, from efficiency, from liquidity, and everything else needs to be there. So.
Right. Yeah, as you mentioned, like the lack of education. So, because for me, I'm also kind of skeptic regarding the DeFi. So I'm more like SeFi guy. All I kind of, I support mixed technology like DeFi and SeFi, kind of. So, so that's why I also think that we have some kind of lack of education in terms of DeFi, and people just don't know how to use it and how they can, get some benefits from it. And also, I guess it has some huge impact of like a huge scam, like for example UST, like or the what was that? I forgot the name. I mean some stable coin, right? Like they can crash like any day, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So that might make people scary, and that's why I kind of understand that your friends from London you met. So yeah, and asking my next question. So what limiting factors for DeFi development would you highlight, or outside of those I just mentioned?
Yeah, I think it's a new market, isn't it? Really, the industry hasn't been around for that long, and I think with that comes different challenges. I think everything from scalability and performance is clearly one area that you've seen some challenges that people are kind of looking to address. I think the regulatory uncertainty is clearly one that people are trying to grapple with. A lot of projects out of the US or leaving the US to go to markets where the jurisdiction allows them to develop applications that are built on DeFi, which is important. Clearly, the markets love when there's a scandal around security and hacks around the smart contracts, and clearly the industry needs to do a better job around making sure that when they launch applications to the market, that the chances of hacks are minimized, because clearly that's going to stop institutional investors and the CeFi mob looking to invest. I think you touched on the complexity. I think if you're talking to anybody trying to, not in the DeFi space, and you talk to them about MetaMask, writing down private keys, stick it under your bed, do whatever you need to do, it's just far too difficult, and the barrier of entry is probably a little bit too high. To enable that, there are solutions coming that make it a lot easier to create a wallet behind the scenes, and we probably need to see a bit more of a step change in that area to kind of make it more available to others. I think interoperability is a big one in terms of you might have an application in one chain, you're looking to move it to another chain, your TVL, your tokens. Again, there can be some friction there in terms of bridging onto different blockchain, but the bridges and different mechanisms of kind of enabling that type of capability. What else is there? Market volatility is clearly one that you either love or you hate, and I think obviously that's one as the market matures a little bit more, there might not be the volatility that we kind of see over the years. And insurance maybe is another one whereby more opportunities to insure your tokens that you potentially stake that may give more people more confidence to leverage DeFi applications. So I think there's clearly a lot of areas where there's room for improvement, but on the other hand, there's a lot of positives that come with DeFi applications that allow people who not necessarily can get access to financial instruments get the opportunity to do that in a way that I guess a central body can't decide who can and who can't partake, which I think is very important. So I don't know, does that answer your question?
High enough. But anyway, yeah, you just highlighted all of the risks people meet when they join to DeFi. So and like for me, so as I mentioned, that since we have a lot of risk, and that's why we have such, it's like the way how you can use the DeFi so uncertainly, right? So, and that's why I wanted to ask how user can use DeFi and dApps in real life, because for now, like for me, for example, even I'm a real crypto guy, right? I'm using I have some bank cards like MasterCard, like for crypto. I'm using some, I'm using exchanges a lot. I'm using P2P, but still I'm not using DeFi. So yes, that's why I want to ask you. So how users can use DeFi and dApps in real life, and why it's better than DeFi?
There's a couple of examples, I guess, where DeFi is quite good. I think if you want to take a loan out and and you've got some crypto that you can stake to get a loan out the other side, I think it's quite exciting. So if you wanted to go and buy that Christmas tree I can see in the background, and you had some ZIL that you wanted to lock up, or Ethereum or whatever to lock up to then go and buy it, you can use a money market protocol as a great example to go and buy something. Or liquid staking is another great use case in DeFi, where you might have collateral that's locked up in terms of an earning yield for yourself, but with liquid staking, you can then use that yield to then go and maybe get a dollar loan on the other side, which is quite exciting. I think other things that we've kind of got within our examples within the Zilliqa ecosystem that I think is pretty cool is an application called Zeeves, which is basically a DeFi neobank. So picture the scene, you're playing that first-person shooter that I've kind of talked about. You've earned some FPS tokens within the game, which is pretty cool. You then think, right, how do I get my crypto tokens that I've earned from playing this game to go and buy a pizza or go and buy a beer as a function of earning those tokens? You can then send your tokens to this Zeeves wallet. It allows you then to convert your crypto tokens into a euro, and then those euros can be used as a debit card to go and buy something. So again, when you start to see this kind of linkage between DeFi, using an app that's very DeFi centric, but then linked to the CeFi world, and everyone understands the neobank in terms of being able to use your card to pay for something, we're already starting to see that sort of capability and applications, and we've got that already within the Zilliqa ecosystem, which is quite an exciting product. So there's a couple of good use cases.
So since we keep talking regarding the benefits and some advantages or disadvantages of DeFi, so I just wanted to ask you more about the threats and of course benefits can devs pose compared to SEFI.
Sorry, do you want to repeat the question there?
Yeah, kind of repeating it. So I just want to. Sorry, I misunderstood. So, what threats and benefits can dApps pose? So compared to centralized application for now, because we talked a lot, right, regarding the some exploits and some.
I think you've got you get all the exploits and all the negatives around it, but I think with dApps, you've got that peer-to-peer transfer and the ability to kind of drive value transfer. So I guess for people who don't know the space, things like NFTs, again, can you use royalties as a function of you might own that asset, you created that asset that's linked to something, you sell that asset on, and then as you use the first person to issue that NFT, the royalties kind of follow you, which I think is quite a kind of a nice concept in terms of what you do. I think, again, if you're looking to access applications in the centralized world, it's very easy for a bank or something to deny you access to an application because you maybe don't pass a certain criteria. Again, in DeFi, you don't have to ask somebody for permission to do something. This permissionless thing is clearly an important component. I think identity is going to be a massive conversation in the years to come. And once people start to understand what they give up around their identity, I think using solutions that are blockchain based around KYC and only giving up what you're prepared to give up, but that then allows you to access the applications, I think it's going to be quite an exciting kind of step change in terms of when people start to wake up to the applications that we've got. And again, if you look at people talk about dApps or applications, ultimately it's about what is the value that somebody deems they get from an application that you're using. Some people like Tinder from a centralized perspective because they find their wife or their husband. In the same concept, if you've got an application that people want to use, they're deriving value, they don't think that blockchain underpins it, that's when you start to see some successes in the space. I think the challenge we've got is that it always comes back to the technical conversation around how fast, how quick, what's the throughput. Probably we should pivot the conversation a little bit and try and understand, right, what is the applications? Are they fun? Are they adding tangible value? Is there actual value transfer that comes with the benefits that are associated with blockchain? And people will start to kind of wake up to, actually, I might want to use applications that are more Web3 or blockchain based because I myself as an individual get more value out of it.
Yeah, understandable. But I mean, I still can argue on this point because, especially recently, then like then all transaction on like proof of what was that, like proof of work or proof of stake, I guess. Yeah, they kind of can be blocked, right, in Ethereum, like in ERC20 blockchain. So, and as we see, like the more and more regulations are coming, like to the crypto. So I think this like kind of difference between dApps and like centralized applications is gonna be like, what should I say? Like, what should I call it? Like just gonna extinct things in some way. So we're gonna in the near future, so we won't see like a really huge difference between dApps and centralized application, but some benefits from like we can use in dApps from blockchain, some like fast transactions. So maybe this is why I prefer dApps to this centralized application. But yeah, still this difference, like it kind of the regulators they kind of trying to make this difference doesn't exist anymore for everyone.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a hybrid model for a long time. I think the value of blockchain is it's transparent. I think the centralized applications, like you saw with FTX, you don't actually know what's going on behind the scenes. I think a lot of people focused in on what Sam did and what happened over FTX and blamed blockchain for the fact that that business failed. It clearly wasn't anything to do with blockchain. It was really around them those around centralized applications. So if you've got an application that potentially is centralized, underpinned by blockchain, so that everyone can get visibility around what's happening. So you get the user experience from a centralized, you get the benefits of blockchain from a visibility and proof of what's happening. I think the world will be in a lot better place around from a transparency perspective. So yeah, I think there's no right answer to it.
Yeah, so I just hope we can see like some more private chains in the future. So because like the OG blockchains are kind of dying now and they're becoming like really regulated. So
it's a good question. I think what you're seeing with a lot of the blockchains now is Zilliqa is going to be no different. I think Avalanche has got a good model where you can have public-private
Avalanche.
But we're going to a similar sort of model with Zilliqa version 2 that's going to be out next year. So I'm quite excited for that. And again, you can spin up your shards in a specific geolocation. You can decide who the validators are for your specific node. You can allow and prove who does and doesn't see the transactions. So yeah, all that stuff is coming, but with the benefit that it's going to be, it's on the public blockchain, immutable. People can do things and then not say that didn't happen.
Yeah. So let's move forward to the next question, and it's not going to be about dApp, which we talk a lot today. So it's going to be about the trading. And so what do you think about 1x? So 1x trading board, and how do you think it can be useful for traders in the future? Since as we're making like a lot of products for traders, so we kind of far from blockchain, but we're still providing like kind of the infrastructure for traders. So.
Yes, I think from our perspective, the idea that, GameFi is a big area that we're focused in on. As I said, we've got this first-person shooter that's public sale happens today. We're going to have a few more games coming down the pipe. Hopefully more gaming studios come and build on Zilliqa, and we start to kind of have a bundle of games in our ecosystem. And if you think about, traders looking, I guess you see yourselves as the Bloomberg of the kind of the prop trading world. So if they start to see within Zilliqa that they've got an ecosystem of games that seem to be performing, there's an economy that's being built out, that's starting to get a lot of momentum building around it, clearly then there's a toolkit available to then start to create some algo bots to then build a prop strategy around what's happening in the Zilliqa GameFi ecosystem. That starts to become quite a powerful capability, not just for your users, but for your users then to start to engage and get access to the Zilliqa ecosystem. So from my perspective, why I'm excited about the partnership is really about bringing that kind of exposure to what Zilliqa is doing. So at the moment, as I said, big GameFi play, but we've also got a DeFi kind of story that we're starting to build out with liquid staking, with EVM, money market protocol. So hopefully what we'll start to see is with 1EX and your traders getting more visibility of what's happening within the Zilliqa ecosystem, you'd like to think you start to see a lot more people looking to trade and get exposure to what's happening on Zilliqa, which in turn should look to help us attract more developers and independents to come and build on our chain.
Yeah, appreciate for the good words and for your support. So I also hope we can achieve all of those that you just mentioned. Will be great for all of us. And we also hope that we can, kind of bring some value to this industry and, make it like much better for all of us. So moving forward to the last question. So could you tell us about the company's plan for 2024? So what we can wait from Zilliqa and maybe some cool updates we didn't hear yet. So
yeah, I think I've covered quite a lot of it. I think Zilliqa 2.0, where we're going to come in and go in hard against the likes of Avalanche and Binance in terms of finality, in terms of cost and everything else, is quite an exciting juncture. As a blockchain, we're going to be moving to fully proof of stake next year as well, which is quite an exciting transition for us. We've got a little bit of proof of work currently. So if you think about speaking to brands in the CeFi world who are all about ESG and making sure everything's environmentally friendly, clearly working with brands, ESG is an important component. So proof of stake will be a big component of that. And then, as I've said, we've got different projects like we've done with gaming. We've got another one where we've done a partnership with Racing League, which I think is going to be an exciting one as well. Anything to do with horse racing. There's possibilities that crypto can kind of leverage. So pretty excited about that. I think in terms of DeFi, I'm looking to see a lot more TVL on chain. And I think with the applications that we're bootstrapping and building out from gaming and from the GameFi narrative, it's going to put us on the map in terms of people remembering Zilliqa, not from the past, but in the present. So yeah, really excited about what's going to happen in 2024.
I really loved what you just said. So let people to remember Zilliqa not from the past, but from the present or future. So because I really didn't heard about you guys for a long time, and as I said, I heard a lot in the past. So, but I hope to hear more and much more in the future as well. So, maybe it's a time to buy some Zilliqa tokens.
Well, I'm not going to give anyone financial advice, but
I
would definitely look at what's happening in the ecosystem. As I say,
it's
Web3 war is kicking off today. That's an exciting one. Look out for Racing League. Esports teams are going to be doing some stuff.
Just a good time to put your eye, guys, on Zilliqa and also on 1X token as well. So since we have our listing tomorrow, so UTC, 2 p.m. UTC, so on Max. So everyone just come to our Twitter or Telegram, whatever, and check it out. Also, you can check this announcement on Max official accounts or on Max Exchange as well. It's not financial advice. I'm just making a notice, right? So for now, we have done with our interview part, and now we're moving forward to small Q&A session for our community. So guys, fire away with the questions in live chat, and let's give you 1 minute, 1-2 minutes, and after that, Matt will answer 3 best questions. So, and those luckers will get 500 1X tokens each. And also, so after we get the tokens, for now it's available. You can come to Max and you can transfer your tokens from your MetaMask account directly to Max. So yeah, and tomorrow you can trade it.
I don't know if this one's for you, Max, or for me, but somebody's asking when will we be listed on Coinbase?
Coinbase. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure they're watching. Hopefully one day.
Yeah. So can you see, Matt? Can you see the question? Right? You can see it.
What innovative strategies or solutions can be explored to find a balanced compromise between decentralized finance and centralized finance for the benefit of the broader financial ecosystem. That is quite, yes, I guess it's a difficult question. I think what we're seeing with the likes of Aave, we're looking to offer the capability for, I guess, old school centralized players exposure to DeFi is an important component. I think as we're starting to see there, KYC, which obviously is not liked by a lot of people in the crypto space, I guess forms part of that narrative. So I think where KYC forms part of the story, and it doesn't necessarily need to be centralized KYC, I think that's when we start to see a kind of a merging of the two. And I don't think they should work in isolation either. I think there's an opportunity for both DeFi and CeFi to work in conjunction, to be honest. A good one where I do like DeFi and carbon credits is a good position for that, where you can prove the kind of offsets and where the carbon credits come from. There's a lot of carbon credit whitewashing as well, so that's a good example. So yeah, a difficult question to answer. I think that was a good one, but I think just the efficiency and the time to settle is all really important. But I guess we just need the confidence in blockchain for people to kind of leverage that. What are the ones? Maybe this is one for you. What advantages does 1x trading platform have?
Just a second, Matt. Just a second. Yeah. So Samuel, could you please write down your Telegram ID? So on the comment section. So that's how our community managers can find you, and then you can send up your MetaMask ID, like MetaMask wallet. So, and then we can send you your price. Congratulations, by the way. And yeah, let's move forward to the next question. What was that from who? John is easy. John is. Oh, your mic is off, Matt. Your mic is off.
I'm back. What's Zilliqa's approach to handling regulatory compliance across different countries, especially with the varying laws regarding cryptocurrency? Great question and not straightforward. What typically Zilliqa does is, I don't know, we work with the likes of Linklaters. So when there's an application that we're looking to build out, or there's a specific DApp that we're looking to build, kind of talk through with them around what we're looking to do, how is it classified, and then off the back of that, what jurisdictions are we allowed to launch it? So again, in some aspects, it might be that you geofence what you can and can't do. Great example, I think, in the gaming hub within Fusion, within Rolling Thunders, is that at the moment, the UK, you can't buy crypto from UK because the regulators don't allow it. So it's very much talking to lawyers, understanding the kind of what you can and can't do, and building your applications around that. And that's when you talk about using centralized capability, which is very much geofencing, allied to some of the values of what blockchain offers. That's when you start to see a merging of the two worlds, which is very important.
Appreciate and congratulations to the guy named John East. So the same as before. So please send up your Telegram ID, and then our CMs can find you. Yeah, and you can get your price. So let's move forward to the last but not least. So who's gonna be the winner?
Yeah, I've got somebody asking, can we say Zilliqa is in the real world asset sector? Is Zilliqa a layer one? So Zilliqa, yes, is a layer one. We can launch tokens on Zilliqa. So even though we're a layer one, you could argue it's a layer two type capability that's kind of enabled on top of the blockchain. So hopefully that offers that. Layer one, what consensus mechanism are we using? I think, again, it's worth talking about where we're going. We're going to be using fast hot stuff as part of the new consensus mechanism moving forward, which is going to be really exciting, which will drive a lot faster finality and throughput and everything else, which is exciting. And then from a real world assets perspective, yes, I think everything that most organizations in blockchain and crypto are trying to do is to legitimize the businesses that are being built out. And again, if you're looking at real world assets in terms of carbon credit, Zilliqa is doing that. Are we looking to tokenize assets like cars that can then be traded? Yes, we're looking to do that. Are we looking to tokenize in-game play that can then be realized and cashed out? Yes, we are. So I think everything comes back to kind of making a sustainable ecosystem that drives value, and Zilliqa is very much part of that and underpinned. I know we're talking about CeFi, but if you do not have DeFi underpinning everything that you're doing from a layer one perspective, then your economies don't work. So yeah, it's a kind of a balancing act that's required. But again, DeFi, CeFi, tokenization, they're all intrinsically linked. And it's an exciting time to be in the space.
Thanks a lot. So, and congratulations to the guy names the only Amonis. And I remember the guy, right? You're the winner from the previous AMA session. So congratulations again. So twice in a row. So yeah. Anyway, it's closing time. All right, everyone. So that wraps up today's AMA session. And thank you so much for fantastic questions and engaging in this conversation, which we value really a lot. And I hope we all had a great time sharing our thoughts and insights with you today. My special thanks and appreciate to you, Matt. So for finding the time. We all know you're a super busy guy. So yeah, it's really amazing that you could find the time to join us today. And yeah, we all joined this AMA. If you also joined this AMA, so don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any future sessions. So unfortunately, we won't have any sessions next week since it's Merry Christmas week, right? And Happy New Year. So, but we're gonna come back in January and see you again. So, your participation and support mean the world to me and to all of my coworkers and my team. So, I'll see you in the next video and live stream. Until then, take care and have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone. See you tomorrow on Max Listing. Goodbye. So yeah, Matt, now we can just, finish. We can leave the call.